Let's take a look at the continued downfall of Ron DeSantis, the Republican Florida governor who is polling about 20% in the Republican primary, more than everybody but Trump, but with seemingly no path to actually securing the Republican nomination. Ron DeSantis was interviewed by Fox News's Stuart Varney, or Fox Business's Stuart Varney. This is a Kafkaesque moment. I apologize. It is Kafkaesque. Stuart Varney mentions to DeSantis, listen, you're down over 30. How are you going to catch up? What's your strategy? And DeSantis just attacks the media. I don't know that this strategy has winner written all over it.
You're down over 30 points to Trump. What's your strategy for catching up?
Well, first, I think it's pretty clear that the media does not want me to be the candidate. I think that they've tried to create narratives that somehow the race is over. This is going to be a state-by-state contest. We've worked really hard to build the type of organization in places like Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina that you need to actually be able to win these early contests, and we're going to continue doing that. We got a lot of work, but we've had very, very favorable response, and we're going to keep building off that momentum. At the end of the day, I think the fact that I'm the one that's targeted by the media, by the left, even by the president of Mexico.
Listen, if the strategy is I'm going to pretend to be a victim just like Trump pretends to be a victim, I guess he's doing it. But I don't know that this is going to get him too many votes.
Because people know that I will beat Biden, and they know that I will actually deliver on all these issues and beat the Democrats at the border.
Folks, this is really low energy. You're down 30 to Trump. What's your strategy for catching up? Well, it's mostly the media's fault, but I'm going to beat Biden. Well, you're not even going to face Biden unless you figure out a way to make up a 30-point gap on Donald Trump. If I want to be as charitable as possible to Ron DeSantis, he seems to be saying, when he says it's a state-by-state contest, 30 points nationally don't matter if I can win Iowa and or New Hampshire and justify staying in this race. It's not looking like he can win Iowa or New Hampshire, but let's put that aside. If I want to generously say that's his strategy, okay, I guess that's a strategy, which is forget about the national polling, just focus on those critical states. During this disastrous interview, Stuart Varney actually asks DeSantis, is there any climate plan that you have? Listen to what he says.
The headlines are just full of stories about wildfires, smoke, extraordinary temperatures in the Southwest and the Southeast to some degree. Do you have a climate plan?
It's going to be to rip up Joe Biden's Green New Deal. I think at the end of the day, we need to embrace American domestic energy. This could be a huge source of national security, economic vitality. It can build our industrial base. In Florida, we've actually had a huge reduction in emissions, but it was done through innovation. It was done through market forces, not command and control. So we'll go about that in a much different direction.
Now, you might be surprised about hearing that he's going to do away with Joe Biden's Green New Deal. And the reason you might be surprised is there is no Green New Deal. Now, if you press them on this and you say the Green New Deal isn't the law, what do they say? They usually say something like, well, Joe Biden has integrated elements of the Green New Deal into the Inflation Reduction Act, as well as by executive order. But then if you really press them, it's very difficult to actually make that a believable argument. So, as I've said before, not ready for prime time, does not have winner written all over him, has absolutely no tangible explanation as to how he's going to make up the 30-point deficit. And he's only running against Joe Biden. And the funny thing is, he's running against Joe Biden and against things Joe Biden hasn't actually done. You've got to figure out a way to win one state here, bro. And it's not clear that he's figured that out. And meanwhile, there are problems in Florida. Trouble in paradise. Let's talk about that next. One of our sponsors is Zippix nicotine toothpicks. Don't you think it's time you stopped putting smoke and vape oils in your lungs? Zippix toothpicks are a convenient way to curb the nicotine cravings. Zippix toothpicks are super discreet. You can use them anytime, anywhere smoking and vaping aren't allowed, including flights, sporting events, in restaurants. They're available in 6 different flavors with options of 2 and 3 milligrams of nicotine. If you're not a nicotine user, Zippix also offers caffeine and B12 infused toothpicks. Zippix has already helped tens of thousands of customers ditch the cigarettes, ditch the vapes. They might be able to help you too. If you're a smoker or a vapor, give Zippix toothpicks a try. Your lungs will thank you. Go to zippixtoothpicks.com today. Save 10% with the code PACMAN10 at checkout. Just remember, you must be 21 or older to order. The link is down below.